backyard was embarrassing. It was terrible. You didn't want to have company over. We didn't want anyone around. Quite honest, it was just large areas were still just gravel and dirt, and the part that had some grass on, well, it was just full of weeds, moss, and whatever. We just thrown some grass seed over the existing soil. It wasn't very good at all, to be quite honest, and it was embarrassing. We had a little area for fire that we could pull up an old fold-up lawn chair or plastic lawn chair too, but it wasn't very nice. Didn't look very nice, and it's not something we wanted to invite company over to by any means. There was old boards out back, you name it, garbage that was thrown around from when we were constructing the house. So we had enough. My wife and I sat down and we said we wanted to improve the backyard. Besides just cleaning up the garbage and things that were there, we wanted a nice area we could sit and relax in the evening. Maybe invite friends over, be able to just sit and talk and have a beverage in the evening, one nice warm summer night. So what did we want? What were our design requirements? Well, besides we wanted to improve the grass, and I did a couple of videos on some of that already that you can check on my channel to get those. We wanted an area that was seating area that we could sit 6 to 8 people. Probably that would be about a normal amount that we might have over for company between ourselves and our guests and neighbors. We want that in an area that would be nice and dry, maybe on some concrete cement or something like that. We wanted a fire pit area that's in the middle for sitting out in the summer, or even on a fall or spring day, something for some warmth, but also just for the ambiance of it all, if you will. It's nothing nicer than sitting around a campfire, it's the kind of style, but sitting in your backyard. Something I've grown up with, and my wife as well, that we really just wanted to do as well. We wanted to look nice, of course. That was the large part of it, not only to have a nice comfortable area, but something that looked nice. We wanted something inexpensive, well under $1,000, and to be honest, you'll see our final design probably didn't cost much more than $300 or $400, and we wanted something that we can do ourselves. So we come up and I sat down, did some measurements, kind of what I wanted, taking those into considerations. And I sat down at the computer and I don't know if you can see this very well, and I just drew up a plan. There were concrete blocks on sale at one of the home big box places locally. They had these what they call 16 by 16 patio blocks. You'll see them in the video shortly. And they were on sale for about $3 each. And by doing this design that I figured, and it's actually my second one because I had changed or made some additions to it or amendments, but I was able to figure out how many blocks I needed, and it would be about 97 or 98 blocks. These squares are just representing that we were going to put flower pots in either corner, and they could be not only be able to put some flowers and grow things there, but also be a place where someone could put a beverage or something like that, resting on it. And in the middle is a fire pot. And initially we're just going to stay with what is an old washing machine drum from the middle of it. It burns very well and still in really great shape. And the center part is just kind of graveled area, so that if there's any sparks or embers, they don't go out and stain the concrete or are not a fire hazard. I want to move the fence back to roughly where I've got that screen and those bales of hay. I'm going to remove that plant there. The vegetable garden, which hasn't been tilled this year, I'll have to dig that up and save the soil, move the frame around, and I want to lower this whole area, level it off. And the main reason for that is I want to take this crude, ugly looking fire pit, the washer drum that I have, move it out, then put some patio stones, make a nice little walkway, bring the walkway out, or the fire pit out here, and put some benches and some proper grass and whatnot here. The first step though, I've got to clean this up. We've removed what used to be the vegetable garden. It was really a weed garden at the moment. That's gone. A few logs, or not logs, but boards or planks, 4x4s, piled up here that are still could maybe used again. Taking some of that soil, a lot of it piled over here for the time being. There's some sod that's good. Maybe replace back here. took a few loads with the tractor out front, and my wife planted some shrubs or flowers, and I just have to lower along the far bank over there. I've got to bring that further down along here, dig up that grass along the top, hopefully save that sod. There's a couple of little birch trees I'm going to dig up. They're just very small, and reslope that. And if I get all that done, well, it shouldn't take much more than about an hour to do that, the most, if that. Then I'll attach the backhoe to my mighty machine here and dig this particular tree out. Hopefully the roots aren't too long. If they are, I don't want to try and lose it, but we're going to try and dig it up and move it up onto that bank up there. And that would hopefully call it a day for today. After we've kind of rough leveled off the area with the box grader, my wife and I, with just some hand rakes and a heavy bar, removed all the other big rocks and leveled everything off to eye as much as we could, definitely removing rocks down to as far as we could see that were no bigger than the ones that you can see here, which are probably only about, half an inch in size, about a centimeter, pea gravel size. After that was leveled, we used a hand roller. That really makes a difference to compact everything. Places any existing those small stones, they actually get embedded down into the earth. They did in our case here, as you can see. Fire pit area will be in the center, and as you noticed, it's almost perfectly square, and it's aligned with the back of the house, the whole patio. There's two ways you could do that. One way is you could lay all the bricks down and move them until you get them all square and hope everything is good, but since the bricks weigh between 45 and 55 pounds, that's not an ideal way of doing things. What I come up with for a plan to save me a lot of labor and grief and get things done, I simply took some old scrap pieces of lumber I had, pieces of trim that were on an old building I had, and measured out that each of these bricks are about 15 3/4 square. We just laid this wooden box down, started laying the brick all the way around it, making sure that everything was all square and lined up. It's really at that point you're down on your hands and knees. You have to make sure that it is each stone is well supported throughout it. If you leave a lot of big gaps under the stone later on, walk on it, might be a reason for cracks. Remove any other small stones that may cause impediments, and we use simple play sand, same kind that you use in for kids sandboxes or play areas to help level off the blocks, or if they have to be built up on in an area. So you see, we spread out an area with grass seed, put some peat moss down, some lime. It's around the fire pit. It'd be nice to have this all grass. Just watering it here to get the grass going. Put together a little time lapse with the tractor, screening the soil down here. Took the soil out of the bank and screened it. Placed some of the rock up here and the soil. Spread it out. Marilyn and I spread it out. Grass here. Be nice next year if this is all grass for the fire pit.